Alright, so I've been telling y'all I'm gonna put a video up here of how to hook your blue crab up as bait. So I actually have a full size blue crab here. Old one, been frozen, but works the same. So if your crab is small enough, you can take your hook, and I just use normal Carolina rig. I got my hook on the other end. So here's my hook. If you have a small crab that's bite size, essentially for a fish, then you just want to hook it right here in the back. So you're going to take your hook, you're going to put it in the top part of the shell, and you're just going to curl it all the way down out the bottom so that you don't hit anything vital on the crab and kill it. So just take your hook, want to push it through the top part of the shell all the way in the back. Push it through the top and come on out the bottom side without cracking the shell too much. Essentially, just like that. All right, you can see it's all the way in the back of the crab, in through the top, out through the bottom, but there's nothing like important right there. So it'll just, it can stay alive in the water the whole time, just like that. So you can throw it out while it's alive, and this crab will crawl around on the bottom. Like I said, if it's small enough, red drum can eat it, and essentially, you can keep the crab alive. Some people like to fish with live bait. Some people use cut bait like myself. I don't really care which one. Both of them work. You don't have to cut off the claws. A lot of people tell you cut off the claws. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. But you can hook a blue crab up to a hook, and I use 3/0 hooks. You can hook a blue crab up to it just like that, through the back part of the shell, in the top, out the bottom, and it'll stay alive. All right, the other way to hook it up is to cut it. So as you can see, this one's way too damn big to throw the whole thing out, but you could always cut it up. And the way I cut it up is by just take the top shell, right? I'm gonna take the top shell and just take it off. So, boom, top shell off, you don't need it. It looks like this. If it's that big, all you gotta do is cut it down the middle, and you can make 2 pieces, or you can cut it down the middle and then cut it across and make 4 pieces, depending on how big your crab is. I like to cut mine into 4s because a lot of times when I'm using it, red drum will take it, but it won't get the hook because it only bites so much at a time. So I always make it to where it's not so much to eat. You can leave some of the legs on. I do. Some people say cut them off. I leave some of the legs on because it makes it look more natural. And I mean, don't pull your legs off. Like, don't yank them out because you're gonna yank all the meat. Just take a pair of scissors and just cut the legs off like that. That's all you gotta do, right? Cut this one off. I always cut off the bit claw with the little pinchers on them, right? But I don't know, just my own personal preference. I like to keep these on, these little back legs, right? And so you basically take your knife, and I just use a little Gerber knife or whatever you have. It'll work. You don't need anything special, but it's all rusted up, so I'll use my scissors, right? Just take this and just cut it. Cut it in half, just like that. Now you have 2 sides. And so again, depending on the size of your crab, this may work just fine. So you take your hook, right? A 3/0 or bigger, so you can make sure the fish bites the hook. And you want to put it through one of the leg holes that you made. So you just want to slide it through there. And that way the fish can't take, all your bait fish. You want to put it through one of the legs and bring it out the bottom of the shell, like that. So you can see I went through the little leg that I took off, that I cut off with my scissors. I went through the leg, and then I came out the bottom of the shell. And you can throw it out just like this. Just like this, you can throw it out. Again, you can cut it again into a separate, you know, to where you can have 4 pieces. But this is a perfectly good sized crab. I mean, this is perfect. 3/0 hook, you could throw that crab out just like that. And I guarantee you, something gonna come and have it for lunch. That's it, that's the trick. You can hook it up whole with the legs on it if it's small enough. But if you get a big crab, then you wanna cut it in half, take off the top shell, cut it in half, cut off the big legs, the big fucking cruncher paws, and hook it through one of the legs, one of the little holes, and bring it out the bottom. And you know, some pinfish or other crab may try to eat at it, but it's kind of hard to get all of the crab meat out of here. So you can leave it in the water a little longer than you can, you know, other baits, and that's how you hook it up. Again, I always make sure I go through one of the little eyelets with the little legs when I hook it, and then you got to be careful. You don't want to break the shell. So when you're coming out the other end, right, you want to be kind of gentle. Make sure your hook is sharp. There you go, just like that, without cracking the shell. And you can throw that baby out just like that. I use mine on a Carolina rig, and it works just fine. So just some backstory on the red drum and the crab. I mean, I've caught red drum with shrimp, I've caught red drum with mullet, I've caught red drum with fish bites. All good bait. Blue crab is like a bottle and a baby. Blue crab is to red drum as a bottle is to a baby. As a fucking 24-ounce bone-in T-bone steak, a ribeye steak is to me. As a slab of Memphis rub ribs is to a southerner. This is the premier food for a red drum. And like I said, all the other baits work, but if you want a bull red drum or a nice size red drum, this is what you want. All right, and you can get crab, you can get blue crab from where you fish, especially if you're here in Onslow. If you're here in North Carolina, New River, Wallace Creek, Onslow Beach, it's blue crab everywhere. Matter of fact, if you fishing and you feel something tugging at your line, but it ain't really taking it, it ain't a fish. It's probably a blue crab. So you can take a blue crab out the water where you fishing at and use them as live bait. I use frozen bait just like I use fresh bait. So I'll take some blue crab I have in the freezer and I'll take them out. If I'm out fishing, I'll catch them. You can catch the crab while you're out there. All you got to do is take any kind of bait, whether it's shrimp, a mullet, and you can put it on a hook, right? You can put it on a hook just like this and just put it on a piece of string. And you drop it in the water and you can watch the blue crab. They'll come to it and they'll grab it. And when they grab it, just lift them out the water and take a net and scoop them up. That's how I do it. I take a hook and a piece of fucking string, just a regular piece of string, and drop it in the water. And when the blue crab come and get it, I lift them out the water just a little bit and then take my net, scoop them up. And then I cut them up just like this and use them as bait. So I'm actually going out today to fish a little bit later on. So this will be my first 2 pieces of bait. And I fish, you know, if you're in North Carolina area, I fish Wallace Creek. I fish New River all the time. I fish at Courthouse Bay, Stone Bay. I fish Onslow. I fish the surf from time to time. But I'm a big fanatic of the red drum. And I have plenty more videos of, you know, how to make help you guys out a little bit more with catching drum. I'm not one of those fishermen that, you know, don't want you guys to succeed and don't want to tell y'all, you know, how I have been so successful with them. So you have to be busy though. You can't be a fisherman that throw your bait out, especially if you bottom fishing. You got to stay active. You got to be an active fisherman, because if you're not, crab and pinfish will take your bait so fast, you ain't gonna have nothing on there. And so there's no such thing as a fishing spot. Like there's no magical spot where the red drum are at. They're in the water. They're in New River, Wallace Creek, Onslow, Stone Bay. They're there. All you have to do is make sure you keep food in the water so when they pass by, you actually have bait. A lot of times you'll be fishing in the right spot, you know, wherever you're at, and the problem is you let your bait sit out there too long. Within a couple minutes, your bait's probably gone if you around any crab or pinfish. So you got to stay active, and you got to be checking your poles from time to time to make sure you still have bait. Crab stays on a little longer than pinfish, than mullet, than shrimp, and so that's why I like to use it. But this bait this is it. So y'all wanted to know how I catch so many red drum? This is it. I remember when I first got here to North Carolina, a lot of people, they thought I was crazy. I'd go to the bait stores and buy some blue crab, and I'd always ask for the smallest ones they have because I don't like to cut them up too small pieces. So, and usually most of the bait shops, they will give you blue crab if it's the small ones because they won't sell them. They'll give them away to you for free. So I go get the smallest blue crab they have, and I use those as bait. And when they ask me, why the hell you using, you know, why you want the small ones? I'd be like, well, I'm going to fish with them. They'd be like, fish with them? And yeah, I mean, this is like a baby's bottle. That's how good it is. And this is some full crab, so I'm going to go put that back in the freezer, let it get hard again and frozen. And I'm going to take it out tonight. I'll probably be out there tonight at Hospital Point for a little bit, and then I'll probably walk up and down New River until I catch my bull drum. So I usually stay out there. I'll catch puppy drum all day, but until I get the one I want, the big one, you know, I usually stay out. So if any of y'all ever want to come out and fish, you know, leave me a message, you know, down below in the comments. Let me know. And like I said, I'm gonna do a video on different type of rods that I use, different types of setups as far as drop rigs go, Carolina rigs. But there's no secrets. Like there's nothing magical that I do that you're not doing. I'm just a little bit more active. I check my bait at least every 5 minutes. And then I keep a bell on top of my pole, so if I see it, you know, just bending like this, I know that there's a bait fish messing with it, so I probably need to replace it. Appreciate y'all time. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to my channel because, like I said, especially if you're in the North Carolina area, I will put you on to some red drum with no hesitation. I'm not that guy. So I want you to be just as successful as I am with catching these things. So if there's anything I can do to help you out, leave me a question down in the comments. Go to my Fish Brain channel if you need to. Either way, leave me a question. Let me know how I can help you out. If you're having trouble with anything particular, leave me a comment. I'll get back to you and make sure that you get that bull drum on your line that you've been waiting for. A lot of these tips that I've showed to people, they're already on Fish Brain posting red drum. Oh, and last but not least, if you're in North Carolina and you're fishing all day trying to catch red drum and you're not having no luck, don't fish all day in the afternoon and then leave in the evening time. In the evening time is when these red drum are most active. They're active in the morning, they're active in the evening. So if you go out there at noon and you fish all day until 5 or 6 and you're like, man, I ain't have no luck, so, you know, and you want to leave, you know, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know, what you need to do is fish the evening run, and that's from about 7 o'clock at night until sunset. That's perfect. If there's a best time, if I had to pick a time I was going to go out and fish, all right, and here's another secret or tip. If I had to pick a time to go out and fish, and I only had about an hour and a half, 2 hours to fish, I would go from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. And right about then, the sun is setting. It's getting dark. You can still see, but that's when you're going to get your most action. So, again, Bayou Chubbs here. Subscribe, comment, let me know how I can help you out. Thanks.